Greetings, my rare hunters. It is I, MariK. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super video. Today is April 13th. That means we got another spoiler for the Tournament of Power set. This time it's the green color. Universe 2. And a little bit of Universe 4. Not really looking forward to this at all, but let's jump right into it. The first leader for the green color is going to be Son Goku. It just wouldn't be a Dragon Ball Super set if there wasn't at least 1 or 2 or 3 Son Goku leaders. He's got the Warrior of Universe 7 trait, the same as the Red Vegeta from this set. All Universe 7 in all areas have no specified color cost, so you can basically play them for any energy you want. He also has the permanent that says you cannot include non-Universe 7 cards in your deck. So no Universe 6, no non-specified Universe cards, only battle cards from this set. That's right, you can't even use extra cards. That's how strict this leader is. But his abilities aren't that bad. When this card attacks a leader card, draw 1 card, and it gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So it gets a free Senzu Bean on your turn. You do get the draw every time you attack a leader, so that's kind of nice. When your life is 4 or less, switch 2 of your energy back to active mode and flip this card over. Now, his Awakened side, Sharpened Power Son Goku, is a little more interesting. When this card attacks, draw a card, gains 5,000 power, just like the previous side. However, he's got a second auto that says, when this card is attacked, you may place 2 Universe 7 cards from your hand into the drop area. If you do so, negate that attack, and then this skill for the duration of the turn. So he basically gets a 1-turn built-in negate. Since you can't use extra cards, this is pretty much the only way to stop your opponent from hitting you outside of just comboing your shit away. I don't particularly like that, because sometimes you need more than 1 negate. But, hey, it's better than nothing. We'll see how this leader turns out. We still got the blue and the yellow leaders to see how they are. So who knows, this one might actually be decent. Then we got a new Krillin, Destructo Disc Krillin. He's a 3-drop, 15,000. His auto says when you play this card, if your leader card is Universe 7, choose 1 card in your life and add it to your hand. If you do so, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards for which the total cost is 3 or less and KO them. So he's kind of some nice little spot removal for the Universe 7 archetype. And since he doesn't specify a color, just specifies the Universe 7 leader, you can run him with either the Goku, the Vegeta, or any of the other 2 leaders that haven't been mentioned yet. Here we have Energy Guard Android 17, my favorite card, and perhaps the only card I really like from the green set. He's a 3-drop, 15,000, 2-drop if you're running the Android 17 leader, with blocker. And then he's got the auto that says, at the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. So essentially, on turn 2, you can have a blocker that is big enough to stop your opponent's leader and some of their battle cards from hitting your leader, and he can still attack. So he's kind of like a miniature version of the Great Apes, all built in one. I think it's really nice. He's not too overpowered, but when you awaken, then he's a 2-cost 20,000 blocker that you can still swing with. I think that's pretty dope. Honestly, I think he should have had barrier. Not that he should have given every android barrier. I would have liked that too. But I think he himself should have had barrier just because it fits his character. It fits exactly what he did in the show. But either way, this is a really nice card, and this is going to be a great addition to my androids. Now we have Infinite Energy Android 18. I was so hyped for this card when I saw it, and then this has probably become my most hated card in the entire set. Yes, worse than Ribrianne and all the fucking Universe 2 bullshit. She's a 3-cost, 15,000 power. At the end of the battle, after you combo with this card from your hand, if your leader card is Universe 7, play this card in rest mode. She would have been a perfect combo card for androids. Instead of having to use garbage TN, we could have had Android 18. Yeah, so we could search her. Guess what? You could search the Gohan, you could search the Goku, you could search the Vegeta, you can search the Frieza. You could search all of those combo cards. So the ability to search her wouldn't be that overpowered. Sure, she would gain the 5,000 boost from the leader, and she would be 20,000, but she would be a vanilla monster at that point, and she wouldn't really be much of a threat aside from having a higher attack power, which all the other androids are going to get anyways, including all the other 2-drops. So it wouldn't really be that big of a deal, but as an android player, and as androids being one of my favorite archetypes, it just leaves me salty. While not part of the original reveal, we were able to get a shot of Son Goku, Hope of Universe 7. He's an 8-drop, 35,000 power. He's another one of the EX Evolve cards. You EX him for 1 energy and you discard 2 Universe 7 cards, and you can evolve him on a Universe 7 Goku with a cost of 5 or more. This card is crazy. He's got crit, and he's got triple attack. Not triple strike, triple attack. So, when this card attacks, if your leader card is green, choose up to 1 card in your opponent's hand or up to 1 battle card they control and place it in the drop area. So, 3 times, you can KO battle cards. You can make your opponent discard. We haven't seen a 5-drop Universe 7 Goku yet. I believe, though, during the initial spoiler, there was a yellow 5-drop Universe 7 Goku that it didn't show their abilities yet, so we'll have to see what he does before we know how ridiculous this Goku is going to be. But if you combine Furthering Destruction Champa with this, you're getting more than 3 crit damage at your opponent, as well as blowing up their stuff. Again, the importance of barrier, and knocking their hand out. This card is going to be pretty crazy to go up against, but we won't know how bad it's going to be until we actually get to see that yellow 5-drop Goku. Now we're on to the Universe 2 stuff. You got Brienne de Chateau. She's the other green leader for the Tournament of Power set. Her auto says, when this card attacks a leader card, look it up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Maiden Squadron among them and add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Not too bad. She just kind of tutors cards to your hand. When she awakens, draw 2 cards. Then on her Awakened side, probably some of the ugliest card art I've ever seen. Ribrienne, Maiden of Anger. That doesn't sound a whole lot about love and peace to me, but hey, I think she's full of shit anyways. Her Activate main says, once per turn, if Kakunsa and Rosie are in play in your battle area, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So, as long as you can keep them from dropping one of those 2, because they have to have both simultaneously, she can't really do anything else. She can kind of blow up your stuff. Barrier is going to be a huge thing against countering the Ribrienne stuff, because pretty much all of their stuff blows things up. Even the leader does. For nothing. You just have to play the battle cards. So if you find a way to just drop them, which there's an easy way to do that, we'll get to that in a moment, you're just going to be KOing stuff just constantly throughout the game, and it's going to be really rough to come back from. To start off Universe 2, we've got Girl Warrior Brienne de Chateau. She's a 2-drop, 10,000 power. She has Barrier, which is so frustrating, and you're about to find out why. When you play this card, look it up to 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Maiden Squadron among them, and add it to your hand. So with her and the leader, up to twice a turn minimum, you're going to be searching your deck for these Maiden Squadrons. You're going to basically +2 with them. Well, this one you only get it when you play the card, but either way, it's going to be really rough, especially once she evolves into Maiden Squadron leader Ribrienne. She's a 5-cost, 25,000 power. She evolves for 2 green and 1 other. So, turn 2, they play the first form. Turn 3, they've evolved into this form. And since it has Barrier, you can't really kill it aside from attacking over it, or, you know, one of the few cards that actually get around Barrier right now. This one also has Barrier. It says, when a card evolves into this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Not too terribly bad. Frustrating for sure, but not that big a deal. It's the second auto that's a real pain in the ass. That says, when this card attacks, if Kakunsa and Rosie are in play in your battle area, choose up to 2 cards from your opponent's hand and place them in the drop area. That's every turn. Starting from turn 3. So if she gets those things out, which I'm not sure yet how easy it's going to be to get everything out as quick as you could, that's going to be really annoying. She's just going to be ripping cards out of your hand constantly. Again, another card that KOs. So another card that Barrier is going to be really helpful against. I think the strategy for this deck is going to be similar to the strategy to playing against Great Apes. You want to make sure you kill the King Vegeta. You want to make sure it doesn't evolve. This is going to be a little harder to do because King Vegeta on his own doesn't have Barrier. The 2-drop bitch does. So it's going to be really rough trying to get rid of her outside of cards that can attack battle cards in active mode, which we really don't have a lot that are lower level. So we're going to have to see what we get from the blue and yellow color to see how easy it's going to be to work around that. One of the cards needed for Ribrianne is Maiden Squadron Rosie. She's a 4-cost, 20,000 power. She's a blocker that has the auto that says, at the end of your turn, if Ribrianne and Kakunsa are in play in your battle area, switch this card to active mode. So even if she attacks, she's going to be in active mode by the time your turn comes around, so it's going to be a little harder to get rid of her as well. However, she does not have barrier, so destruction abilities will be able to get rid of her, as well as, having the cards that attack cards in active mode. You can play cards like Crusher Ball or Perfect Support Bulma, put her in rest mode, and then just run the bitch over when she can't use her blocker ability. The other piece needed for the Ribrianne combo is Maiden Squadron Kakunsa. She's a 4-drop, 20,000 with critical. Her permanent says if Ribrianne and Rosie are in play in your battle area, this card gains dual attack. So she's going to be strictly aggressive to kind of counterbalance the defensiveness of Rosie. But again, her being a 4-drop, and she's going to need both Ribrianne and Rosie in play, we're going to have to see how fast the Universe 2 archetype can drop all of these cards on the board while keeping them alive, since Ribrianne is the only one that has barrier. I think the easiest way to take this deck down is going to be by either killing and keeping Kakunsa or Rosie off the field. Destruction abilities are going to be really good against this deck, especially because they're going to be keeping Rosie in active mode because of her auto at the end of the turn. Next, we got a little bit of support for the Universe 2 archetype with the 1-drop Zarbuto Maiden Attendant. He's got 5,000 power. His auto says when you play this card, look it up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Universe 2 among them, and add it to your hand. So another card that's going to get you a free draw. He's just like all the other 1-drops that search for cards for their specific archetype, but with him and the 2-drop Ribrianne and then the leader, you're going to be adding a lot of cards to your hand very early on in the game. Universe 2 also has their own free blocker with Rabanra Maiden Attendant. He's a 2-drop 5,000 blocker, although he's not as free as all the other free leaders are. He specifically says if a Universe 2 is in play in your battle area, you can play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost. So he doesn't get the benefit of if your leader is Universe 2 or if your leader is whatever, you get to just play him for free. You specifically have to have one in your battle area. I don't know that I think he'll see a whole lot of play. I think there's a lot better green support cards, but who knows? Some people might make use of him. Blockers have definitely picked up in popularity after Great Apes. One of the more annoying cards for Universe 2 is going to be Teleporting Jamez. He's the Yardrat from Universe 2. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 power. His permanent says reduce the energy cost of Maiden Squadron in your hand by 2. You must pay the specified cost even if it exceeds the reduced energy cost. So basically what that means is, say you have the 2-drop Girl Warrior Brienne that you were going to play, it would reduce her down to 0. However, she has a specific energy cost of 1 green, so she wouldn't be free. She would instead still be a 1 green to drop, which is still not terrible considering the others are 4 drops, so you would just play them for 2. The other thing that makes him really damn annoying is his activate main says place 1 card from your hand in the drop area, send this card to the warp, and play it from the warp in its owner's battle area at the beginning of your next turn. So essentially you get him out turn 3, and then turn 4 you use his ability to reduce the cost of your maiden stuff, and then activate his main, discard a card, warp him away, and then he is safe from being destroyed all the way up back until your turn. In which case, as long as he's never on the board when you're attacking, there's no way he can be KO'd by, like, Revenge, or by, negate cards like Speedy Surprise Attack, or get absorbed by cards like Boo Make You Cookie. So once he comes out, he's kind of immortal, kind of invincible. It's really annoying, and there's not really a whole lot of ways I can think of off the top of my head right now to get around it. But I don't think he's going to be the biggest threat. Like I said, keeping the other maiden cards away from Ribrianne and just keeping that bitch by herself is how you're going to beat her. Then we've got Vikkel, Master of the Sky, 2-drop, 12,000. She's just your super combo for Universe 2. 5 or less life, draw a card, gain 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. Nothing special here. Here we have Zerloin, Maiden Attendant. He's a 4-drop, 20,000 with double strike. His activate main says once per turn, choose one card in your life and add it to your hand. If your leader card is Universe 2, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And since it doesn't specify an energy cost, that's kind of annoying because you get to take a card from your life, awaken if you need to, and then just blow anything up. So again, Barrier is going to be the bane of Ribrianne. Then we've got a generic 2-drop green, 15,000 that probably won't see a lot of play. Attack Reflecting Prum. All he has is Barrier. He's just like the red Vegeta from the Tournament of Power set. Not really anything too special. He is Universe 2, but since he has nothing to do with the Maiden Squadron archetype, I can see no reason why you would even bother to play him. Then we have another 3-drop 15,000, Hermilla the Sniper. This card could be interesting once we actually get to see what the real effect is. It has an activate main once per turn. If something is in play in your battle area, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost 5 or less and KO it. No downside to that at all. No discard, no sacrificing life, nothing. But it requires something to be in play in your battle area, which, as of this time, I don't know what it is. I checked the ruling page. There's nothing as far as rulings for cards for the Tournament of Power, and since this was pulled straight from the card list they revealed, who knows what it is until we see an actual card or until they realize their mistake and update their site. Then, once again, another 3-drop 15,000 power, Trickster Ganos. His auto says, when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less and KO it. This card specifically is not part of the Universe 2 archetype, instead he's Universe 4, but it's still another green battle card that you just drop it and get to KO a card for free. If that wasn't bad enough, he evolves into True Form Ganos, a 5-drop 20,000 power. You evolve him for 2 green and 2 other. He has double strike, and his auto says, when a card evolves into this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. This time, no energy restriction, so that's 2 KOs. Then your opponent chooses one card in their hand and places it in the drop area. Because losing cards is not enough when it comes to green in this set. It wouldn't be so bad if you had to actually destroy an opponent's battle card before you got to place the card in the drop area, but because of the way the rules work in this game, more than likely, you probably don't have to do the first part before you get the discard of the second effect. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's as if Bandai doesn't really pay attention to the way they're actually wording these cards. If the effect said, climb up a mountain and then jump off, you can't do the then jump off part if you didn't climb the mountain first. A buddy of mine used that type of logic back during the Hercule debacle, and it seems Bandai really hasn't learned from their poor wording skills. Then we have Toei Keymaster. This card actually pisses me off. It's a 3-drop 15,000 power. At the end of the battle, after you combo with this card from your hand, if your leader card is green, play this card in rest mode. So not only did they give us an Android 18 that comes to your field when you combo with her for 1, it's not playable in androids. But here you go. Here's a generic, random, garbage green alien that honestly I don't even remember being in the Tournament of Power. Who is this? I don't even think I want to use this in my android deck. Like, I feel like I should, because it would be good, but I don't want to out of spite for what they did to the Android 18 being Universe 7. That's probably just me being fucking stupid, but it really was stupid for them to make this decision the way they did. That's just me being salty, though. Then we have 1-drop 10,000 power Durkori. I don't even know what you're here for. You literally do nothing, and nobody needs a vanilla 1-drop. Then we get 2 extra cards for the Universe 2 archetype, the first one being Maiden Transformation. It's a 4-cost. Activate main. Choose up to 2 Maiden Squadron with energy cost 4 or less in your drop area and play them. So you could just combo them away early game and then play this like a reverse March of the Great Apes and get out both your 4-drop maiden bullshits. And if you've already got Ribrianne out there, then there you go. You completed the combo for free. Honestly, because of stuff like this card and the way the deck just plays in general, I feel like being really aggressive against this deck, against the Universe 2 archetype, is going to be one of the better ways to handle this deck outside of Great Apes and other decks that just have a lot of barrier. Or even if you're playing Saiyans with the new red free card that just says, all your Saiyans get barrier for 2 turns. That card is going to help against this deck so much as well. The last card is our new green Negate Maiden Charge. Negate the attack, then if your leader card is Universe 2, you may place 1 card from your hand in the drop area. If you do so, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and KOs it. Again, barrier, or even in this particular case, or in the case of a lot of the Universe 2 cards, Indestructible is going to help you out a lot, because even though it forces you to choose, it is still the effect of your opponent's card. So Indestructible is going to prevent those cards from being KO'd by stuff like this. Who knows? Because of something like this, Goku Black may make a return. I would be more than happy to see that, and I'll be testing out Goku Black against this as well anyway, so I'll be sure to let you guys know how that works out. That's going to be it for our green Tournament of Power analysis. Hopefully, we haven't seen all of these super rares yet. We still have the SPRs and the secret rares to see as well. I'm hoping we'll get an Android 17 super rare, since he was, kind of MVP of the entire Tournament of Power. Won't give you any spoilers to how it ended. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below for us. We appreciate the support. We appreciate all of our subscribers. We're at 353. We're making our way onto 400, and you guys are fantastic. Let me know in the comments below what card you're looking forward to the most, what you think about the Universe 2 archetype, and how you think you'll do with it, how you'll play it, how you'll counter it. I'd love to hear all your thoughts on it, and I'm looking forward to talking with you guys on what we can do to counter it, because I really can't ever let myself lose to this deck, but I think Great Apes will more than handle this deck, just based on all the destruction and all the abilities it has. Barrier just kind of shuts all of that stuff down. But we're going to go ahead and get the freak out of here now, and we'll see you guys in the next video.